An effort to fight for more racial equality, the Duluth chapter of the NAACP is proposing a new stop policy to help people of color feel safer in our community.
Northern News Now's Taryn Simmons was at the announcement at City Hall and shares how the policy may impact who police officers pull over.
Being black or brown is not a threat to public safety.
Jamie Sharp of Duluth addressed the public on the front steps of City Hall Friday about a new policy the Duluth NAACP is proposing. Classy Dudley, the Duluth NAACP president, says the new stop policy proposes that Duluth police officers should only make stops when it interferes with public safety.
Broken taillight, cracked windshield, tabs expired, those type of things. And if they do pull you over, it's really important to know that they have to identify what the risk to public safety it was.
Dudley says the policy helps to offer transparency to those who claim they are targets of racial and implicit bias.
Black males was rated the highest group in the city of Duluth for getting pulled over and stopped.
The NAACP chapter has been collaborating with the DPD and the city of Duluth for the past several years to create this policy, which they say is a joint effort to eliminate racial bias within policing. Jamie Sharp says this policy will benefit both officers and community members.
This policy is intended to protect Duluthians and ultimately lead to better relationships between the police and communities that have been historically underserved and harmed by the police.
In Duluth, I'm Taryn Simmons, Northern News Now.
The Duluth Police Department issued this statement regarding the proposed stop policy, saying in part, "We are committed to continuing to work alongside critical community groups such as the Duluth Citizen Review Board, Racial Bias Audit Team, community members, and others." Duluth Police says this policy is still in early draft and the department will work with community partners to finalize the policy.